Yo, so guys, and welcome back to a brand new Hijomeatman news video. Today we're going to be talking about Marc Marquez's incident in the Portimao Grand Prix, as it is a big talking point right now, not only between fans but also the riders themselves, some of them being very vocal on the grid about the incident and the sprint race weekend format in general, which we will get onto in a different video. But today we're going to be talking about Marc Marquez, who has received a double long lap penalty for the next Grand Prix as long as he is declared fit to ride, as we are suspecting that he may have a little injury in his right hand. If it does get confirmed, we will make sure to leave it down in the comments, so make sure to maybe come back later on just to see what is happening with his hand. But yeah, Marc Marquez, absolute roller coaster of emotions for the 8 times world champion starting the season in Portimao. You know, a lot of catching up to do for him on the Honda, and like I said, roller coaster of emotions. Started off really well, obviously getting that pole position in the qualifying, getting the toe, and you know, dragging that bike up there, and done a good solid sprint race, to be fair. Some good overtakes. Obviously he knows the bike isn't as good as the ones around him, so you know, he just sort of brought it home and was hoping to do the same in obviously the main race. But it all went a little bit wrong coming into turn 3. He definitely, well, according to him, he locked the front end. That is what happened there. To me personally, it just looks like he missed the braking point completely. It just looks like he just completely misjudged what was going on. You know, if you take the other riders out of the equation, there was no way that Marquez was going to make that corner in any way, shape or form. So in the process, he pushed out Hijomeatman, you know, very aggressively hit his leg. So luckily for obviously Martin, that nothing came out of that, because we have seen some incidents now recently in racing. I think Loris Baz was the most recent one, where, you know, riders doing the leg dangle have had another rider come and, you know, clap their leg into the braking point, which is obviously not what you want and not what Martin expected. Did pretty much ruin his race. He obviously went off the track at that point. He did come back on, and obviously he did end up, you know, chucking it down the road a little bit later on in the race. But that moment was definitely a scare for him, but nowhere near as scary as what it would have been for Miguel Oliveira. Absolutely clobbered into the body, very high speed. The angle also, you know, I just don't really know what Marc Marquez was thinking going into turn 3. I really just don't understand. And like I say, he has received a double long lap penalty. Some people don't see that as a severe, you know, penalty for basically what he'd done, you know, into turn 3 there, obviously ruining 2 riders' race, including himself, and you know, causing a massive incident. You know, we have had Alicia Spargro, especially the main one, calling for a race ban on Marc Marquez after that incident, saying that the racing is getting a little bit too dangerous in MotoGP recently, and you know, he's definitely a little bit vocal about, well, everything. Obviously we know what Alicia Spargaro, is like, but yeah, he's calling for a race ban on Marc Marquez, which is you know, that would definitely be pretty severe. Whether it deserves a race ban or not, I mean, I'm not too sure. Obviously I'm not a steward, but you know, that was definitely bang out of pocket. Going into turn 3, it was just outrageous, to be honest. I mean, the break point, like I say, he, according to him, he locked the front, but honestly, if you watch the clip, he's not stopping whatsoever. You know, he's completely misjudged everything about everything in the process that he was doing going into turn 3 there, and obviously Hijomeatman and Miguel Oliveira had to pay the price. And Miguel Oliveira is obviously getting some medical treatment, and he does have a contusion in his leg, which isn't great. And honestly, if you look at the season opener, it hasn't actually been all that ideal, has it, for the MotoGP riders? You know, we've 4 riders now with medical attention after the first race weekend, so that's definitely not the way you want to really get things going with the sprint race weekend format. And obviously all these races coming back to back, you know, there's not a lot of rest time. So Yeah, a little bit of a messy start to the season, you could say, in the Premier class, and very clumsy, obviously, from the 8 times world champion Marc Marquez into turn 3 there. Very clumsy, and it's it's disappointing because it's nothing unexpected, really, you could say, from Marc Marquez. We've seen this a lot in the past, and you would have thought, by now, a rider with his experience and stuff, that these sort of incidents, you could say that'd be happening a little less often, but it is not the case, unfortunately. And once again, we have had a Marquez incident, and like I said, double long lap penalty. Whether that is enough, I don't know. Make sure you leave it down in the comments what your thoughts is on that. I think personally, maybe a pit lane start could have been efficient. I think maybe a race ban might be a little bit too severe, but also a double long lap penalty isn't really enough. It's only like 7 seconds or something like that, if you think about it. So I think a pit lane start would have been a pretty good penalty, but like I say, we have to actually see if he can even race next week in Argentina, because his hand might be fractured. So not an ideal start for Marquez or Honda. But I guess it's not really a surprise. He was pushing over the limit, trying to keep up with the much faster Italian bikes around him. European bikes in general this season, they do look considerably faster than the Japanese bikes, so obviously he's having to make up the time somewhere. And unfortunately today he just went over the limit a little bit too much, did Marc Marquez, and he will pay the price next time out if he is declared fit to ride. So yeah guys, what were your thoughts on the incident? Do you agree with the penalty, double long lap? Do you think a pit lane start would have been a little bit better, or maybe back at the grid, or maybe even a race ban like Alicia Spargo is calling for? Leave it down in the comments, leave a like and subscribe for more content as always, and I will see you with some more videos very soon.